Chapter 8. The Ghost Train. The first shots exploded through the terminal. Marcus moved instantly. Gunfire tore apart the concrete where he had been standing half a second earlier as he dove behind a rusted support column. Sparks erupted around him while rifle rounds screamed through the abandoned station. The strike teams advanced with terrifying discipline. Tight formations, controlled fire. Not cult fanatics, professionals. Marcus's mind calculated rapidly. Too many angles, too much open ground. Then, a sound echoed through the darkness, metal grinding against rails. The soldiers reacted immediately. "Move! Move!" Marcus turned sharply as dim lights appeared deeper inside the terminal tunnel. A subway train. Old, derelict, still moving. The strike teams began repositioning towards it. Supply transport. Escape route. Marcus bolted. Bullets chased him across the platform as he sprinted full speed towards the incoming train. His enhanced body absorbed the punishment of movement, but every impact against the concrete sent pain through his still healing ribs. The train roared into the station. Its headlights cut violently through dust and darkness. Rust covered its sides. Windows cracked. Half the interior lights flickered like dying nerves. The doors never opened. Marcus jumped anyway. He slammed against the side ladder of the moving train just as it blasted past the platform. His fingers locked onto rusted metal as the tunnel walls blurred inches away at lethal speed. Gunfire erupted behind him. Rounds punched through steel around his head. Marcus pulled himself upward and smashed through a side window with his elbow. Glass exploded inward. He crashed into the subway car hard. The inside smelled of oil, blood, and burned electrical wiring. Armed guards turned instantly. Contact! The first man fired immediately. Marcus grabbed the barrel and redirected the shot upward just as the train slammed around the curve. The violent momentum threw everyone sideways. Marcus used it. He drove his shoulder into the guard's chest and hurled him through the shattered window. The man disappeared screaming into the darkness outside. Another attacker rushed from between the seats with a combat knife. The cramped subway car left almost no room to move. No wide swings, no distance, only brutal proximity. Marcus trapped the knife arm against the steel wall and drove repeated punches into the man's throat until cartilage collapsed beneath his fists. The train rattled violently. Lights flickered overhead. A third guard tackled Marcus from behind. They slammed into rows of seats hard enough to rip metal bolts from the floor. Marcus grunted in pain as his back hit steel. His body was strong, but still flesh, still breakable. The guard drove a blade towards his eye. Marcus caught the wrist inches away and twisted. Bone snapped sideways. The man screamed. Marcus smashed his head repeatedly into the train pole until the body went limp. Another gunman opened fire from the far end of the car. Rounds tore through seats and windows. Marcus grabbed a detached steel panel and shoved forward through the gunfire as sparks exploded around him. The train thundered through ancient tunnels at impossible speed. Marcus reached the shooter. One strike shattered the rifle. The second caved in his jaw. The third sent him flying backward through the subway doors into the next car. Marcus followed immediately. The connecting doorway slammed violently in the wind between cars as the train raced onward. More guards waited inside. This car looked different. Wooden crates, weapons, medical supplies, transport cargo. The ascendants were moving resources beneath the city. One of the guards rushed Marcus with an axe. Marcus ducked beneath the swing just as the train lurched violently again. Momentum shifted. Bodies stumbled sideways. Marcus grabbed the attacker's arm and used the force of the train itself to throw him headfirst through the window. Glass burst outward into the darkness. The wind screamed through the opening. Another attacker charged. Marcus blocked a strike. Pain exploded through his shoulder instantly. Too many fights, too much damage. His mortal body was beginning to fail under the strain. His breathing became heavier, slower. The downloaded instincts remained sharp, but his muscles burned. His ribs screamed with every movement. Still, he kept fighting, because Lily was somewhere ahead. A guard lunged from the side. Marcus slammed his face into a support pole, grabbed the man's tactical vest, and hurled him beneath the drum doors just as they partially malfunctioned closed. The doors crushed inward violently. Blood sprayed across the flickering lights. The final guard backed away towards the conductor's cabin, terrified. Marcus stalked forward through the wrecked subway car. Bodies littered the floor behind him. Broken seats, shattered windows, blood smeared across steel walls. The train screamed through darkness at full speed. Marcus grabbed the final guard by the throat and slammed him against the conductor's cabin. "Where is she?" The man laughed weakly, despite blood running from his mouth. Marcus narrowed his eyes. "You're dying." "I know." The guard coughed, then smiled wider. "You still don't understand what this really is." Marcus tightened his grip. "Talk." The man stared directly into him. "The people behind this city. The real people." His breathing hitched painfully. "They're all gathering tonight." Marcus stayed silent. The guard laughed again. "A gala." He coughed blood across his chin. "High above the city, while you crawl through tunnels like an animal." Marcus's expression darkened. "Elites," the man whispered. "Judges, politicians, billionaires." The train began slowing suddenly. Brakes screamed against the rails. "The inner circle is meeting tonight." Marcus leaned closer. "Where?" The guard smiled one last time, then bit down hard. Crunch. Poison capsule. Blood poured from his mouth instantly. Marcus released him as the body collapsed lifeless to the floor. The train ground violently to a halt inside another abandoned station. Silence settled through the ruined subway cars. Marcus stood motionless in the flickering lights. A gala. The elites were gathering above ground tonight, and somewhere among them were the people deciding whether his daughter lived or died.